Today's lesson is Chapter 3, Lesson 4, Comparing Greater Numbers. So if you remember from the last lesson, we just compared numbers. Today we're just looking at greater or larger numbers. So we'll be looking at the same type of things that we did last time. So a quick flashback to what we did last time. So remember, an FB is a flashback. We looked at numbers such as 2,561 and we compared that to 2,261. And the way we could do that is we can look and see, do they have the same number of digits? There are 4 digits into the thousands in each of those. So we start with our greatest one. And the thousands, they are the same. When we get to the hundreds, we have a 5 and a 2. This one is larger. So 2,561 is greater. Another quick way to compare is to stack them on top of each other, so then you can see them in a much more organized way. And then this way we can look through and we can say, okay, they line up the same number of digits, the thousands are the same, the hundreds are where they are separated, and there's my larger number. We're going to be doing the same thing today. However, we're going to be using larger numbers, greater numbers. So we're going to be dealing with numbers into the hundreds of thousands versus just hundreds or thousands. But we'll do the steps the same way. I'm not a big fan of just looking at it this way. If you write either messy or quickly, or if you just need an extra tool, I like stacking them up by place value, because you very easily can see, first, do they have the same number of digits, and then second, which one is larger. So I'm going to jump right into our first example, which is comparing 221,495, comparing it to 210,388. So I'm going to do the way that I like doing it, based on place value, making sure that you copy it down correctly, because if you have the wrong digits, obviously that will affect it. So 221495, I can just call it the digits as I'm writing it, and compare it to 210,388. Now at first look, I see they both have 6 digits. They're both into the hundreds of thousands. So I start off with my largest place value. The hundreds of thousands are the same. When I get to the 10,000s, that's when they are first different. And I can see 2 is larger than 1. So there's my larger number. So I can say 221,495 is greater than 210,388. Now some of these aren't always going to be right in the first or second place value. You might get problems where they go out 3, 4, or 5 place values before you can decide which one is larger. So let's look at our next example. I have 912,706, and I'm going to compare that to 913,898. So once again, I'm going to go ahead and just write to the side. Make sure you write so they're not fast or different size digits, because that could make where you line up incorrect. So if I squish my numbers too much or spread them out, I might not notice where my place value lines up. They both have 6 digits. They both have 900,000. They both have 10,000. And this time it's to the 1,000s before I can decide which one's larger. And 3,000 is larger than 2,000. So this time the 913,898 is larger. So I put my comparison symbol that way. Now I would read this as 912,706 is less than 913,898. sometimes they might want to give you more than two numbers. And when you compare more than two numbers, you're now ordering those numbers. So for example, I'm going to use smaller digits than today. I might have 121, and then 214, and then 207. So I get to do it the same exact way. 121, 214, 207. I look and I see they have the same number of digits. They're both 3 digits or into the hundreds place. And I first look at this. 200, 200, 100. I have a smaller one automatically. So I can get rid of this one out of here. And if they want me to order from least to greatest, I'll put the smallest one first. Pay attention, because sometimes they ask you to order from greatest to least. So you need a larger one first. For this one, we're just ordering them. So I'm going to put my 121 here. I want to use a semicolon because I don't want to look like I'm separating place value. So I have a list of numbers and I'll separate them by a semicolon. Now I can come over. I have 2 left over. They're both in the 200s. And now I have to separate those. That was larger. But I'm putting them in order, so I'm not comparing them. So the next number that's smaller is this one, 207. And it may seem silly that I'm circling them. I don't want to forget one. Because sometimes you could have a set of anywhere from 5 to 100 numbers that you're doing. And so you really want to look at those and make sure you do not forget something. And then my last one is 214. So those were smaller numbers, but I want to explain what the process will look like. In this example that we're going to do, we're going to use larger numbers. My fan keeps blowing things around. So let's use a much larger number this time. Let us compare 80,371. You can see since I have a comma, this is why I wanted to use semicolons, when I separate a list of numbers versus just commas. 15,048 and 80,137. Now one thing you can always do, and if you're really paying attention to your numbers, you should be able to see that sometimes one number definitely stands out. You can pull that. So I notice I have 5 digits in all of these. They're both in the 10,000s. So I have an 80,000, a 15,000, and 80,000. That 15,000 definitely stands way out. So I'm going to get rid of that one first. I put my 15,048. Now, since that one stood right out, I just need to compare my last 2 numbers. I have 80,371, and I'm going to compare it to 80,137. The tricky part about this, they have the same digits, 371, 371 on both of those. So now I'm going to look for my smallest number. So I know they both have 80,000, and now it's down to the hundreds, 300, 100, 300 is greater. So since I'm putting them in order, I'm going to go ahead and take that next one of 80,137, and now I can put my last one of 80,371. So that's what our lesson is really looking at today, is comparing those numbers. So if we look at the assignment, they also give you another tool of using a number line. So they'll want you to plot your numbers onto a number line. So if I have 30,430, so I go 30,430, which is right here. And then the second number is 33,515. So that's 33,500. And so we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. 15 is going to fall kind of in the middle. So you can see where the 2 points get plotted. Which one is larger? This one's larger. So we can read this and we can say that 33,430 is less than 33,515, or you could read it as 33,515 is greater than 33,430. So you can write that in different orders. For this example, they want you to put them in order from greatest to least. So like I said, please be careful and look and see, do they want greatest to least, or do they want least to greatest? For your assignment today, they're going to give you a couple sets of numbers that they would like you to compare. Then they have an order that they want you to order from greatest to least. So the biggest number first, all the way down to the smallest number. And then here, they just want you to write any three numbers. There's a lot. Between 12,000 and 13,000, there's 1,000 different numbers. You're going to give three numbers that would fall in between here. On the back, you're going to do the same type of thing. Compare some numbers. This time, notice that they want from least to greatest, not greatest to least. So please make sure you pay attention. So smallest number to the largest number. And then put three numbers that are greater than 543,000 and less than 544,000. So another where they're 1,000 away. Your problem solving today is going to be to give you population of Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Vermont, and Wyoming. And they would like you to put the states in order from least to most based on the population. So put down there. Don't just put the numbers, write the states also. And then number 8, which number has the greatest value? And then how can you use a number line to help you know where a number is greater than another one? If you have questions, let me know.